Okay, hello. Here we are with Ritu, who is in Kolkata, India. I'm going to ask you to say your full name so I could.
Hi, my name is Rituparna and I'm a student.
Rituparna. Okay, right.
Rituparna.
Rituparna. So you are in Kolkata. You have your bachelor's in architecture and your master's in city planning. Okay, great. And right now we've been talking for a little bit about walkability issues in various Indian cities, but we're going to do a rating for two cities, Kolkata and Kharagpur. Do you want to say that properly? Say you can say it the right way.
I said it
It
completely.
was close. Kharagpur. So, which one should we start off with?
I think I'll start with Kolkata. Uh, Based on my personal observation, I'll say the older part of the city, Calcutta, has a walkability score. I'll give around 8, 9. And for the newer parts of the city, or the satellite towns which are coming around Kolkata, like Salt Lake and Newtown, I'll say I'll give it a walkability score of 6 or 7 at the most I can give.
Okay, what would need to happen?
And yes, Kharagpur, I'll give a walkability score of 8. Yes, I'll give 8. It
Okay.
is a good walkability.
Okay. For Kolkata, for the newer areas, you said 6 or 7. So what would you need to see change for your score to come up?
Um, Firstly, for the score to change, I think here uh, the markets have a very different, has a far away location. I'll say there are centralized markets. So in older parts of the city, what we have is a mixed use development. But in the newer parts of the city, if I take a case of Rajarat area, and they have actually zoned the area into exclusively residential area, and then one more region as exclusively market area, commercial area. So naturally, when we are talking about the distance part, some residential areas are so far, people are naturally not willing to walk, and since it's a grid iron pattern, the distance also increases. Suppose I want to access a nearby vegetable market, or um, any commercial area, clothing area, so naturally people have to travel at least 10 minutes by motorized vehicles, be it commonly available vehicles is autos and totos. And bus frequency also is delayed. I'll say in the residential area, although the roads are wide, but buses do not ply among those roads. So naturally, people, they are more dependent on the two wheelers, I'll say. So to increase the walkability, I feel a mixed use development in and around will actually help in the progress of redevelopment, I'll say, like where people, where the government can actually come up with a proposal of including small shops so that it is walkable within the residential, for all the residences here,
Right? Yeah,
all
of
the
course.
residents.
Right. Having proximity to basic services
Yes,
like the market is really essential. You referenced buses, so what would your public transit score be for both cities, starting with Kolkata?
Public transit for Kolkata, again, I'll say like the older city, it has a very good share of public transit. We have the metros, we have the buses, we have the trains, the circular railways, which connects all the suburban areas. So I'll give it a score of around 8. And for the newer part of the city, I'll say around 6 or 7.
Okay.
6.
And for Kharagpur?
Kharagpur public transit, I'll say I'll give it 7 or 8, because people there, they have a little bit of dependency on their own two wheelers. We have public transits there, but those are privatized. Those are not government regulated. So the share is relatively lesser. So yes, I'll say people they are still dependent on their individual two wheelers or four wheelers. So I'll give it a 6 or 7.
Okay. And some ambient chaos from my family in here, so we're gonna have to wrap this up here soon. I want to wrap it up with one really important issue that you referenced during our talk, which is that for a lot of people that have no choice but to commute by public transit. Actually, they're not using public transit because they're making an environmental decision.
Yes.
It's their primary mode because they don't have access to other modes. However, if they did, they might choose a private
Yes.
vehicle or shared mobility because of the safety issues,
Yes. Yes.
especially for women and children. You
Yes.
noted. So, can you share
Yes.
a bit about that in brief?
Okay, during my academic curriculum, and I had it, and I had an opportunity to conduct these surveys. So while talking to people, I came to realize that using public transit is always not out of necessity. They do it out of, what I want to say is, it is not always they do it out of their own willingness,
Right.
but actually they don't have any other option. So
Right.
safety also, when we consider women, they here we rarely see, and from my observation I'll say that we rarely see women after 8 or 9, because we see the amount of public transport also, the frequency decreases. So naturally there are very inhibitions. Women, they don't feel safe after certain uh, duration, like after 7 or 8. Usually we rarely see women walk until and unless it is a very dense city area, core city area, or any shopping mall or somewhere. It's very risky for some women, and even children, even parents, they have their own inhibition. They don't allow the children to go outside because firstly we have the stranger danger, and also the traffic danger is also the second, I'll say, among the top two important factors why they don't allow the children outside.
Okay.
And it's not just the problem of four wheelers, I'll say, it is a problem of even two wheelers also, because of this unregulated driving, and that is the most important reason. Both two wheelers and four wheelers, they have both play a very important role when it comes to safety for children.
Okay, well, Ritu, thank you for talking with me, and I look forward to welcoming you into the Walkability Network. I think it'd be great to create a webinar, especially around the safety issue, because it's so critical. And I look forward to perhaps collaborating with you and doing that later. So thank you very much for your time.